All right, everyone. The World Cup is here. So I was out. I'm in Cary, North Carolina for the TST, the soccer tournament, and I was having a burrito, a beautiful burrito. You guys should have seen it. You guys should have seen this burrito. I've never seen a burrito like this in my life. And while I was eating the burrito, unfortunately, it fell on the ground. I lost it. I saw the U.S. men's national team roster had leaked. So we decided to go live right now. The U.S. men's national team 2026 World Cup roster has leaked, and tactical manager lost his burrito. But that's not relevant to today's video. We do have the full World Cup roster. And mind you, this is very funny. It's actually kind of ridiculous at this point that the entire roster has leaked. Mainly because they have a full 3-hour presentation on Tuesday. There is a whole 3-hour presentation on Tuesday, and the roster has now leaked. And I lost my burrito because of it. I'm very upset about that. You guys should have seen it. It was a wonderful burrito. But let me go through here. Why don't we go through the roster? So Edgar, he actually used AI, I believe, to just put all the roster all in one screen, which just makes it a bit easier for us to read, right? And reading is not fun, so we just want to make it as easy as possible. Here's the entire U.S. men's national team 2026 World Cup roster. There's a few surprises. We have the entire roster. How's everyone doing? So, what is our midfield? No Aiden Morris and Tanner Tessman. We're going to talk about that midfield. My burrito may have been beautiful, but that midfield is not beautiful. That's not a good midfield. That midfield is not good. Now, it is funny that Fox has like this whole 3-hour show on Tuesday for the roster review. That has gone down the drain. You have the roster right there on screen. This is not fake. The Guardian released it. Now, before we continue, before I talk more about this, I'm going to put a quick word from the sponsor of this video, Underdog. The link to play is in the description. And I'm going to do a bracket there where you can test your ball knowledge if you sign up. We'll talk about that in another video. But listen, we'll be back very soon. Drop a like right now. I'm going to play the ad so people can come in, tune in the live stream. We'll be back, and we're going to break down the full roster. The U.S. men's national team World Cup roster is out, the 2026 one. We'll be back in 60 seconds. So, the biggest soccer event in the world will happen here in the United States this summer. Or shall I say, the biggest sporting event in the world. And you know what can make it a little bit more exciting? Underdog. And the game I like to play at Underdog is called Pick'em. And it's very easy to play. I just click on it, scroll to the soccer section, pick a player for a specific match, and select the stats I believe will be lower or higher. It's very easy to play. I usually pick the downside of the stats because hate watching a player is much more fun. Trust me. But then again, analyze the players, his stats, who they're facing, and how he has been doing before you make your pick so you can make sure to win. Underdog also has their very own predictions market. And you can download the app right now using the link in the description of this video and the promo code TACTICAL. And in the process, you'll be helping the channel and yourself. Because new customers get $50 in bonus entries after they play $5 and use the promo code TACTICAL. We got very creative with it. So again, don't forget to use the link in the description and the promo code TACTICAL. And thank you very much, Underdog, for sponsoring the channel. Okay, so now let's go to what matters. You guys want to see the U.S. men's national team roster that was leaked by The Guardian. Once again, before you guys call me fake news or call me anything, The Guardian released it. Go complain with them. They ruined the 3-hour show that Fox had planned out and the event that U.S. Soccer has in New York City. Because now, at this point, sure, on Tuesday, I'll release a video doing a roster breakdown more than what I'm doing today because today's a reaction. But ultimately, we all know the roster by the time it's released. And there's a few surprises. So why don't we break down the roster here? Okay, U.S. men's national team 2026 World Cup roster. Goalkeepers, Chris Brady from the Chicago Fire, Matt Freese from New York City FC, and Matt Turner from New England. Every single player that has a little star on his name, that means it's his first World Cup. Goalkeepers, that is exactly as we expected, right? The goalkeepers, literally what we expected. Defenders, which would include fullbacks and center backs. We have Max Arfston from the Columbus Crew, Serginho Dest from PSV, Alex Freeman from Villarreal, Mark McKenzie from Toulouse, Tim Ream at age 47 from Charlotte. Actually, he's 37 or 38. Chris Richards from Crystal Palace. Richards was questionable due to injury, due to an ankle injury, but it looks like Richards is fine. Anthony Robinson from Fulham, Miles Robinson from Cincinnati. My, oh my. God help us. Miles Robinson. He's going to the World Cup. Joe Scally from Borussia Mönchengladbach and Austin Trusty. Okay, so Scally made the roster. Serginho Dest. The fullbacks are Arvston, Dest, Freeman, even though Freeman can play center back, and Joe Scally. Now, Miles Robinson, listen, this is what I heard. Okay, this is what I'm saying is not apparently in the article. This is what I heard. I'm not going to tell you guys the source because no one reveals their source, right? The Guardian's not telling us who leaked them the roster. I heard that Noah Kai Banks was talked to, or they reached out to him, and they couldn't get a clear answer on whether or not he didn't reject, but he also didn't say yes to the World Cup call-up, which essentially led to Pochettino going with Miles Robinson. That is what I heard, okay? I have not talked to Noah Kai Banks. I have not talked to Pochettino. I have not talked to anyone in U.S. Soccer, thank God. I don't want to talk to anyone at U.S. Soccer. But what I heard from a very credible source is that they wanted to bring in Noah Kai Banks, but they couldn't get a clear answer from, they couldn't get him a yes, like, yeah, I'll go, right? They couldn't get a firm yes. And ultimately, that led to Miles Robinson being called up. And what I'll say is this. I trust my source, but we obviously are not 100% sure that is true. If it is true, let's assume it's true, I would say we should just move on from Noah Kai Banks. If he's not sure of a World Cup call-up to play for the United States, in the United States of America, you just move on from the guy. He just doesn't want to play for you, right? If you want to date that girl and she's not giving you the time of day, not responding to your texts, you got to move on, man. You got to move on. You need to have some level of self-respect at some point, right? So we need to have that, some self-respect. I know that's long gone, and ever since I lost my burrito later today, I just my self-respect is never coming back after that. I don't know how I'll recover from that. But as I said, if that's true about Noah Kai Banks, we got to move on, right? Simple as that. And then we go on to the midfield, and oh my God, the midfield. This is the portion of the roster that gives me nausea. It might even give me hemorrhoids at this point. The midfield. Tyler Adams, great. We need him there. He's probably one of the most important players in this team. Weston McKennie. Very often, Pochettino plays McKennie as a central attacking midfielder. We need McKennie. He's one of our most important players. He's there. The other two are Sebastian Berhalter and Christian Roldan. Those are the other two. I am not comfortable starting Roldan or Berhalter in the World Cup. I'm not even comfortable with these guys getting any minutes. This is very concerning. And you may be saying, don't worry, we have the attacking midfielders and wingers section. Yeah, but you have Brendan Aronson from Leeds, Pulisic, Reina, Malik Tillman, Weah, and Zendejas. None of these guys scream double pivot midfielders. So my question is, if Pochettino decides to start Weston McKennie as a central attacking midfielder, who starts next to Tyler Adams? Roldan? Berhalter? God help us. I'm dead serious. I'm not even joking anymore. I know sometimes you guys think I'm joking, but Roldan and Sebastian Berhalter getting meaningful minutes in the World Cup is something you must prepare yourself for. Buy all the toilet paper you can get. Call your doctor. Go do some blood work. Because these guys will play meaningful minutes. Sebastian Berhalter and Christian Roldan. Now, will they start? I don't know. But my point here is that if McKennie starts as an attacking midfielder, which that's how Pochettino has mainly played him, someone else has to start next to Tyler Adams, because very often we do play a double pivot. We play either a 4-2-3-1 or a 3-4-3. But the 3-4-3 is actually a 3-4-2-1. I can bring up FootMob here later on in this video, and with that I can obviously show you on the tactical board, but there are very high odds of Berhalter or Roldan starting or getting minutes off the bench. And that's not good. Okay. Um, just before we move forward, people are asking, what about Tessman? Tessman is injured. Okay. He's injured with Lyon, and obviously they probably got the information that he wouldn't be available for the World Cup, or he wouldn't be 100%. So Tessman probably wasn't available. I am 99% sure that Tessman's absence here is due to injury. Now, the other question is Aiden Morris. I don't think Aiden Morris is that big of an upgrade when it comes to Sebastian Berhalter. I do think Sebastian Berhalter and Aiden Morris are better players than Roldan, for example. At least Berhalter is having, in my opinion, a better season in MLS. He might be the most informed, definitely American midfielder in MLS. And I think Aiden Morris had a good season. So I do think that Aiden Morris is a better player than Roldan. He's not there. I think Aiden Morris is a little bit better than Berhalter. Not as good on set pieces, but a little bit better as a player. But again, Aiden Morris was not selected. He's healthy. But Tessman is injured. Johnny Cardoso is injured, and that's the midfielder we're bringing, which is quite concerning. Now, the attacking midfielders is interesting because Mauricio Pochettino has left Diego Luna out. Diego Luna is not in the roster, okay, for the World Cup, which you may be saying he didn't deserve to be there anyway. And you have a good point. Like I thought Diego Luna would be there. I did a whole roster video, right, predicting the roster. And I thought Diego Luna was going to be there. I am okay not bringing him. I don't really give a crap in that sense. I do think many people overrate Diego Luna, but he's not there, and he was one of Pochettino's favorites. And the funny part, this is where the shit show goes. Diego Luna was like a big name, or not name, but like he was like kind of like the face of the advertising, the marketing for this World Cup for the U.S. men's national team. They did a lot of marketing around Diego Luna, which to me it's kind of insane. What freaking imbecile thought that was a good idea? Not because Luna didn't have a chance of making to the World Cup. He had a chance, right? We know he had a chance. But when you're going to make advertisement for the U.S. men's national team World Cup, if you come to me, okay, I'm no marketing expert. I'm definitely no marketing expert. Or maybe I am. But if you come to me, a guy that knows the national team, and say, hey, we need like 4 players that we want to market to the American audience from the U.S. men's national team, I would say, why don't we market players that are like pretty much locks? Who are they? Pulisic's a lock, McKennie, Tyler Adams, Weah's a roster lock, Balogun. You have many roster locks to not go with Diego Luna, and they chose to do so. And Luna doesn't make the roster at the end. Okay, so it is what it is. Brendan Aronson makes the roster, which is a bit of a surprise to me. I thought Diego Luna was going to make it, but I'm happy for that. I think Brendan is a better player, so I think he'll contribute more. There's many situations in the game where Brendan Aronson is a specialist that he can be useful for, right? So I'm happy that Brendan has made the roster. Christian Pulisic's there in one of the worst forms of his life. Let's hope he makes a massive 180 very soon. We're going to need a very informed Pulisic. Gio Reyna has to be there. Let's be real, guys. Gio Reyna has to be there. Okay, say what you want about his his club minutes. He has to be there. He can be a difference maker for the U.S. off the bench. Malik Tillman is there. Has to be there as well. Tim Weah, he will play. He could play as a winger. Tim Weah could also play as a fullback or wingback for the United States. Tim Weah. Okay. And then lastly, Alejandro Zendejas is another surprise, right? I wasn't really expecting Zendejas over Diego Luna. Not because I don't prefer Zendejas. I think Zendejas is a better player than Diego Luna. And Zendejas has been playing better in Mexico, which I think is a little bit of a tougher league than MLS. And Zendejas has been doing well for Club America for quite some time. It's not a 6-month thing. It's been like 2 seasons at this point that he's been consistently good, besides a few injuries here and there. Zendejas makes it over Luna. I like that call up. I like it. And then up top, no big surprises there for the three center forwards or the three forwards. Ajiman is injured. That's the only one that Pochettino might have considered, right? He might have considered Ajiman, but Ajiman's injured. So everyone was expecting Balogun, Pepe, and Haji Wright. And Balogun is very likely the front runner. He should be. He's our best center forward. With Pochettino, I'm not sure if it's Pepe or Haji. Pepe might be a little bit of a better player than Haji, maybe. It seems like Pochettino prefers Haji based on the last few camps that we've had. So, guys, that's the U.S. men's national team 2026 World Cup roster. Now I'm going to go to the chat here and answer a few questions. Someone said, "Where's Banks?" So I heard, and I said this before, I heard from a very reliable source that they talked to Banks and they couldn't get a clear answer. Like they couldn't get a firm yes when they wanted to call him up. So since they couldn't get a firm yes, they just went with Miles Robinson instead. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. Okay. So let's just say it's allegedly. It's allegedly. And like I said, we need to have self-respect at some point. If this kid doesn't want to play the World Cup for the US, we shouldn't be begging. Like, go play for Germany, I guess. If that's what you want, so be it. Now, I don't know for sure, so let's not judge the kid. We haven't heard that from him. Let's not judge him. Maybe he just wasn't called up because Pochettino thinks Miles Robinson's a better player, which he is not. But I don't know. So, like I talked about the roster, I don't think Miles is going to play at all because when you look at our center back options, we have Alex Freeman. He is not a center back, but he has played as a center back in the back three for Pochettino. So Alex Freeman is one. Mark McKenzie is 2. Chris Richards is 3. Tim Ream is 4. Austin Trusty is 5. I don't think Miles Robinson is going to play. So I think it's a waste of a spot, but I'm just not going to hate on that too much. It doesn't matter too much to me. What I'm concerned about is the midfield, especially the double pivot, right? When it comes to the attacking midfielders with Brandon, Christian Pulisic, Gio Reyna, Tillman, Zendejas, we're fine. McKennie can play there, Weston McKennie. My big concern is here. Christian Roldan and Sebastian Berhalter. That's my big concern. Because as I said, McKennie has played as an attacking midfielder for Pochettino. So if Weston McKennie plays as an attacking midfielder, the options to play next to Tyler Adams are Berhalter and Roldan. So if you want to be concerned about something, it's this right here. I'm marking it on screen, the midfield. That is the one concern. And I mean, knock on wood. Does anyone have wood here? I don't have. Okay, wood. Knock on wood. If Tyler Adams gets injured, who is going to play as the central defensive midfielder? No, seriously, like in the chat right now or comment section, if Tyler Adams gets injured, who plays CDM? Who is our central defensive midfielder? We don't have Tessman. We don't have Johnny. He's injured, Johnny Cardoso. Aiden Morris is not there. Saying he won't get injured, though. No, I hope. I knocked on wood, so he won't get injured, right? That's how it works. But, okay, so what if Tyler Adams gets suspended? What if Tyler Adams is not available? Who fucking plays CDM? It is very concerning. Someone's saying, could Tillman drop deep? Tillman can play deep, but Tillman's not a CDM. Neither is McKennie. They're not central defensive midfielders. So what I marked on screen, the midfield, it is very concerning. Very concerning. I'm going to say one thing. Looking at this roster, I want to know what you guys say in the chat, in the comment section. Who's the most important player in this roster? Who's the most important player? Because I'm about to tell you in like 5 seconds. Who is the most important player in this roster? I'll tell you right now. It's Tyler Adams. He became the most important player in this roster. He's the only reliable 6 that we have. Like, just think about it for a second. You're going to say, Chris Richards. Yes, but if you play McKenzie and Trusty, you can figure it out. But Tyler Adams, because of the way this roster was built and a few injuries here and there, Adams has become the most important player in this roster. I don't think it's debatable. I'm sorry. I just don't see it, right? So listen, everyone, the official announcement will be on Tuesday. So what I'll do is I'll do a 7 things we learned video. Do you guys want that? I'll do a 7 things we learned video. And then when the roster is officially out, I'm going to release the 7 things we learned video when the roster is officially out, which will be a more like rational. Well, this was rational. I think I was rational. I was a little upset because of my burrito story in the beginning, but I'm okay. And what I'll do is I'll do a 7 things we learned video when the roster is officially out. Instead of doing a live stream reacting to the roster, this was the live stream. We have reacted to the roster. It's officially out. And then I'll do a 7 things we learned video about this call up here, which I have to sit down and think about it, man. First, I have to go buy another burrito, and then I'll sit down and I'll think about it because there's good, there's bad. Pochettino made some tough calls, like I said, about cutting Diego Luna and bringing better players like Brendan Aronson and Zendejas. There were injuries that definitely affected it, but we'll talk about it. Maybe he needs to consider a formation change. Maybe that's something for him to consider, right? He's saying, what is the possibility of this changing on Tuesday? It'll only change on Tuesday if someone gets injured, because as far as I know, they can still cut someone due to injury. If it's a proven injury, you can cut him and you can bring a replacement. I don't know up till when. I think it's up to like a week or something before the World Cup. So if no one gets injured, which I hope they don't, and I doubt they will, this is the roster. Okay, it's leaked. The Guardian has leaked it. I talked about Noah Kai Banks. I talked about everything. Hopefully, I've covered everything to the best of my ability, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you once again, Underdog, for sponsoring this video. Underdog Fantasy. Again, if you guys haven't already, make sure to download the Underdog app. The link will be in the description. They're giving you $50 in bonus credits in the Underdog app after you play $5. But here's the thing. Very soon, if you haven't already, download the app and make an account, because we're going to make our bracket in the Underdog app. I'm going to make my own bracket, and you guys will have the opportunity to go against me for free. And there will be prizes for those that play in it and whatever, but it'll be free. So make sure you guys join the Underdog Fantasy app. Just download it, make your account. When I make my own bracket, you guys will go against me, and whoever has the best brackets, there's going to be some prizes there. It's going to be fun. So make sure to do that, everyone, whenever you have some time. I think that's all for today. I've covered the roster that's been leaked. On Tuesday, when the roster is officially out, we'll release a video doing a breakdown of what did we learn. And that's all, guys. Make sure to drop a like right now if you haven't already. Drop a like in this video so we can hit 500 likes, 600 likes, whatever it is. Thank you for watching, and it's here. The World Cup has arrived. The World Cup is here. We got the roster. Time to start working on the video, start working on the content and everything else. And you guys, hopefully you enjoy it, and hopefully we do well. Okay, lots of positives and lots of negatives. By the way, yes, I'm in Cary, North Carolina. That's why my coverage will be here and there, even though I'm going to cover everything, because we're back in the TST. After we had an incredible campaign last year, we had a very good campaign last year. Everyone was so amazed. They said, you have to come back. We need you back in the TST. So what do? We came back, and we brought a very good team. We're back here. We're in Cary, North Carolina. We play on Wednesday. I'll share it in the community tab when my team plays. It's called Tactical Manager Flow Sharks, because we partner with a team called Floripa Sharks. Great team from Brazil. And hopefully I go back to Florida with $1 million before the World Cup, because the winner of the TST gets $1 million. Okay? Thank you very much for watching, everyone. Drop a like right now. And thank you very much, Underdog, once again for sponsoring this video. The link to download Underdog is in the description of this video. All right, guys? I'll see you all on Tuesday. Ciao.